Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. This coming week I have a class for my coffee and cards, and two of my cards are going to be gatefold cards and the other cards are going to be from the kit, the Notes of Kindness kit. Now I haven't shown you this before, but it's from the annual catalogue and it's a $48 kit with everything included. And you can also get a refill for $29. I bought my kit just before Christmas, but I didn't get time to play with it until last month. Now, let me just move this and show you. This is the box that it comes in. And it doesn't say anything at all on the box. So it's a really nice box if you want to give a gift or a pack of cards. Just put a pretty ribbon around it and that's a great little extra. Now, the set itself comes with everything you need, and I've only made a few of the cards so far, but let me just show you. These are the pieces for the stamping, for the sentiments. These are adhesive pieces to make layers and a little bit like washi tape kind of a layer. The pictures and the flowers, the leaves that you need are all ready done, and all you need to do is just press them out. So it's a really easy kit. I think I might take this kit home to do with my mum when I'm in the UK next month. And then here are some more stickers. These are banner pieces. And then you get all the thank yous, and they're also in French and German. So if you want to send somebody a card who's in a French-speaking part of Canada or any part of the world, then you can use this. The envelopes are really pretty. They're all the nice thick quality, and then they have the lining inside with the stripes, which matches with most of the cards. So we have that, and then, oh, that's another thank you there. And then the card bases themselves are already scored, already cut, and you get 20 cards in this pack, which is a lot. So let me just see. There we go. So these ones have got almost like a gum tree leaf, I think that is, like a eucalyptus kind of leaf maybe. More leaves. And then this is one of my favourites. I like it when it's just the colour wash. I often do this on note cards on my, that I'm making anyway, and I do them myself just by putting a little bit of the ink into the top of our ink pads, and then adding a little bit of water, going over with a paintbrush and just brushing a little bit over my cards, because it makes a really nice background and it's a layer that you don't have to add. So if you're mailing cards, you don't have to add more weight to your card that you might have to end up paying extra on. Then we have this stripy one. Oh, some more are all a little bit muddled up now. So there are 4 base cards, and in the kit as well you get the stamp set, and they're fairly big, and they're not all tiny weeny little stamps like you sometimes can get. They're all quite big. And then you get a little black inking spot, and you get the copper coloured twine that you need, lots of the little pearls, and a big block. Now they're not as thick as our blocks that I use all the time. They're a little bit more like the paper pumpkin type blocks, but they work really well. So let's pop those down there. And then once you've got the kit with the stamps, you can also buy the refill kit. Now the refill is everything with the exception of the box, the ink, the stamps, and the ink block. So everything else you get. So even if you didn't want to buy the full kit for $48, you could just buy the refill for $30. And instead of these sentiments, you could just use some of your other stamps. And this is how the refit kit comes. So, everything's there. The dimensionals are there. If you want wet glue or like tape runner glue, that isn't included. You would need to put that in yourself. But because a lot of it is already self-adhesive, you don't actually need much glue. So let's put that to one side. And then I'm going to show you some of the cards that I made with them. So this is just like a little brag book that I put out on the table. If I'm using a kit, I put little ideas, and sometimes even if I'm using a stamp set, I'll have 4 or 5 cards already made, and I pop it in just our little clear envelopes, punch 2 holes at the top, tie a piece of ribbon through, and then on the back I've started to write what it is. So it's the Notes of Kindness kit, this is the catalogue number, and this is the Canadian price. Then for the refill, but for the refill, no ink spots or stamps or box or stamp block. And then it's on the annual catalogue, page 7. So this is one of the cards. I'm sorry if there's a little bit of glare, but I've got these in plastic, so you know it does pick up the light quite a bit. So this is one of the cards. This is another one of the cards. This is as the instructions show you how to make them. And they are all note card size. Here's the thank you, the small card with, you know, not very much on at all. You don't have to put much on that one. And then the one with the large succulents. But then I made a few of my own. I just used the same pieces. I added a couple of bits here and there. I used a different sentiment just to show you that you don't actually need the stamp set if you don't want it. You can just get the refill and use your own. Here I just punched out a little bit of, looks like Blackberry Bliss card using the sprig punch. And here we are, another one. Again, I didn't use the sentiment from the box, and I used a little bit of that velvet ribbon that we've got in the Rich Razzleberry. And then here's another one. I just used a butterfly from the Botanical Butterfly paper that's free in Celebration, cut it out. This, I think, was from one of the other paper pumpkins, the one with all the pretty flowers on. I can't remember its name, but just let me see. I've probably got some of the cards here. Yeah, it's from this paper pumpkin set. I wish I could just remember its name, but it's gone. So it came with lots of these little sort of tags almost that you could use as a sentiment, and you could just put whatever you wanted on. And I had one of them left, so I plopped it on there. So I'm going to show you one of the quick cards. Now, to be honest with you, when I looked through and started making them, I didn't really like this one. It didn't have enough on it for me. Let me find it in here. It was a bit, this one. It was a bit sort of, yeah, it's pretty, it's nice, but I wanted something in this big space. And I could have moved the sentiment down, but then I felt like it looked a bit bare at the top. So I'm going to do a card using that base. I don't know quite what it's going to turn out like. It's just sort of, you know, you get what you get. So let's see, let's find the pieces I need in the box. Okay, so this is the base that I want to use, and the base goes this way around, but I thought I might try it this way around, because I tend to like sort of the horizontal cards, the landscape cards, and I don't think that looks like the, you know, the leaves are upside down or anything. So I'm going to use it that way. It doesn't want to stay up at the moment, so I'm going to open it, spread it out and use it like that. Okay, now I have already put the small thank you onto my block. I haven't stamped anything yet. I'm just taking the pieces out that I think I might need. So let's just pop the stamps there. And I'm going to use some of the sticky pieces. So these are going to be too big for what I want, these big banners, but I might use one of these little pieces with the crosses on. And I've taken 2 of the flowers out of this piece. When I put it near, I thought this one was maybe a bit big, because it covers all of these up and I haven't really got any room for a sentiment. So it's not going to be that one, but I think it might be this one. I think I might put this one on it. Okay, so if I'm putting that one on it, I'm going to use a piece of the green, and all you do is you just peel it off and it's sticky on the back. And I'm going to start it over at this left hand side corner. So I'm going to line it up on my grid just to make sure I've sort of got it even. You could cut this down if you wanted to, but I'm just going to let mine go over those leaves as well. Okay, and then the pink ones that go with this normally, they go underneath, but for this one, I think I might put it on top. Let me just show you. Ordinarily, they have the smaller pink one, well, the pink one that looks a bit narrower, but it's actually this big piece with the green over the top. And I'm just going to do it the other way. I'm going to put it so that you've only got a little bit of the green, and then you've got quite a lot of the pink and white. Okay, so that's for there. And then for this, I'm sort of going to follow the template for this, just at the other side. So I'm going to make sure that my flower fits on here, and I think I'm going to have it like this, but I won't stick it on until I've done my little sentiment. So let me find where all the sentiments are. Here. So these are the ones I've got left. And I know that the thank you fits on one of these smaller ones. So as I say, I've already put it on there, and I'm going to use black because I think that just stamps so nicely on these. And I do like a black sentiment. I think it always stands out nicely, always looks classy. So let's just stamp this up. Okay, and then I'm just going to look to see where these are. I don't usually take them out of the card because I find it easier to have a bigger piece of card with the sentiment piece already attached, rather than trying to work with a tiny little piece, move it round. You know, I end up getting it sort of a bit wonky. So I'm just going to put this on here, and I might have to stand up just to do this. So excuse me if all you can see is my head. Let's see. Oh, I can't see anything. It's bright shining through the window here, so let's hope that this comes out in the right place. Well, it's a bit high, so I'm going to try again on another one. I didn't want it quite as high as that, but if that's the best one out of the two, then I'll take that one. So it is a bit tricky to see through. Oh, that's even worse, isn't it? So I'm taking the first one. Let's do the first one. I could turn this over and do it again, but hey ho, it is what it is. So I've got my scissors. Oh, let me just move my chair. Seems to have scooted back. I'm going to press this one out. And then, because I made such a pig's ear of it, I'm just going to go round the black. Just cut it out. Who'll know? Nobody. Only you and me. So there we go. Let's move these little pieces out of the way. Okay, let's start to put it together. I'm going to need some dimensionals for the flower up here. On the actual card that this is used on, it uses the little crosses. I don't know if you can see those very well. These little crosses. But because my picture is so busy, I'm not going to add that as well. I'm only going to add this to here with a couple of dimensionals on the back. I'm not going to worry about my copper twine at the moment. I might not even put it on, I don't know yet. And we'll take the backings off. And then I'm just going to put this on a bit of an angle. Oops. And then for the thank you piece, I'm going to get that other little pink piece from here. And I'm going to see, yeah, I think I will have it just on here as well. So I'm going to put this over to the right hand side, just where I want my sentiment to go. But I'm going to put my sentiment on dimensionals as well. And I'm just going to cut a piece of this because it's only a narrow piece. and this will be about the right size. And if I just cut a little piece off and stick it on the back, nobody's going to look. Nobody's going to say, oh, look, that's just the edge piecing. I think the edge piecings are about the best piece in this because you can cut them nice and small. And I remember at one of my classes, one of the ladies gave me this back, a bit like this, really. They'd used all the ones out of the middle, and then she gave me this back and said, oh, that's just for the rubbish now. So, oh no, they're my favourite bits. They're the bits I save. And so I showed them how I use these pieces on the backs, and you get extra dimensionals that way. I think they thought it was my Yorkshire thrift or something. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that on there. Okay, and then let's find the pearls. Where did I hide those? I know I had them because I showed them to you. Oh, here they are in the box. And I'll just get my paper piercer. And then I'm just going to add a few. Just going to put 3 on. And it doesn't matter where you put them. It's your kit. You can do as you like with it. Let's see. They might look quite nice on some of these leaves, actually. I'm just going to put mine around my flower and around my thank you. Okay. Just seeing where I like this. I actually like it up here, so let's do that. So there we are. Another card from this same kit using pieces from the different cards. But honestly, I like that much better than I liked the way I made this one. And I think it looks a lot better. If you want to put some twine on, you could always just make a little bow. Let's just make this bow here. Whoops. Make it a bit smaller. You don't have to use this, you can use any of your ribbon. No, I'd used some of that velvet ribbon, this sort of ribbon, on one of the others. And because it's one of the colours that's in the set, it just goes with everything as well. That's the nice thing about Stampin' Up. Everything really matches. And I know before I found Stampin' Up, when I would make things, I couldn't find ink and card the same, and I would go to Michael's and buy things, or I would buy online and think, oh, that paper, that just looks the same colour. But when you got it, it really wasn't. Okay, so you could put a little bow on if you wanted. Not sure I want this bow on. I haven't really left enough room for it, but you could do a bow. You could wind some of it around your fingers. And put it underneath your flower so that it's sort of looping round, but underneath. Whatever you fancy. It's your card, you make it just how you want it to be made. But I think with this kit, you can't go wrong. I think it's one of those that, you know, you don't have to make 2 the same. There are 5 of every card base, 5 of all the designs. So, you know, why make 5 all the same? Make 1 like this, and then just let your imagination go wild. So there we are, that's my imagination gone wild. So thank you so much for watching. I have got another card that I've got in mind to make with this set, so I'll make that next, and the second video will be another one from the Notes of Kindness kit. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, just press the little bell at the bottom and the little subscribe button, and then you'll be notified every time I make a card or a project. Thanks very much, everybody. See you all again soon. Bye-bye.